Welcome to Cue the Next Leader. This is Angela Rizzo, VINCUE Chief Marketing Officer. And recently I had the pleasure of interviewing Jeremy Parrish. Jeremy is the general manager of Jimmy Britt Chevrolet Buick GMC. So let's listen in to see what Jeremy has to say about his experience using VINCUE.
My name's Jeremy Parrish. I'm co-owner of the Jimmy Britt Dealerships. And the history, I've been a partner with Jimmy now about 9 years. I've worked my way up to where I own 50% of our 3 dealerships, and we're in grow mode, and have used VINCUE to try to help us acquire cars to grow.
That's great. Can you cite some really important factors in terms of, that is behind the success or your success to date?
By God's grace, good people, good vendors like VINCUE and Viato and tools. I think we just take these tools and build our processes around our people instead of the other way around, instead of the people around the tools, if you will.
Yep. And from a VINCUE perspective, are you, my understanding is using the Vehicle Buying Center, the inbound and the outbound. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell me a little bit about how many cars you buy a month and how many cars you sell a month?
Before VINCUE, I was buying 200 plus myself off of a variation of places. We sell around 250 in the first store we put y'all in. We just recently added you to the second store, and as we have the people, we'll add you to the third store. And so now I've been able to reduce the other sources down to about 75 or 80 per month, and we're averaging 4 to 5 purchases a day.
That's outstanding. So I'm assuming you go into your dealerships and you set up a separate vehicle buying center with vehicle buying agents. Is that how you're doing it?
The tool itself, very user friendly, and I think I'll be able to add a third person, or at least a part-time third person, to do more of our service department. And I think I can acquire at least 2 more a day from there.
That's great. Well, that's outstanding. Are you still relying on auctions to acquire inventory?
Some because, late model, I'm a GM store. What they build, I don't get. They literally in the month of June allocated me less than 25 total new units for our store. So, going after late model cars, GM specific to our prints, we don't have new, because we're not filtering those out in VINCUE. We're going after everything in VINCUE, so we still need to have those vehicles to replace what we would have if we had new. So that's the majority of what I'm buying. Majority of what I'm buying in the auction now will be where I might have been trying to buy Fords and Dodges and Toyotas and whatever before. Now I'm really just focused on, when I am on the auctions, only on the brand specific, we have a Chrysler Dodge Jeep store too. So, some there.
What made you curious to check out VINCUE initially? How'd you hear about us?
I frequent the digital dealers and the NADA, and had tried just about everything else, to be honest with you. And so I met Danny, or went to a class that Danny was either speaking in or also in, and it poked my curiosity. And we were already spending money with other tools in that forum. So I'm like, I'm not getting anything spectacular out of what I'm spending. So let's see, when I met Danny, and he showed me the offer, here's what we're going to offer for your car. Here's what trade-in value for your car. Here's what, the private market is. And then it has day supply, all the data that you see in Viato customers don't get to see. And there's no way for me to export it out of Viato without creating, 15 downloads on one customer. I was like, this just shows the transparency that we do. And I think that that's y'all's largest success in what you're doing is we're providing the customer the same information we see, and that creates that transparency to create those honest conversations where I don't think there's any other tool that I'm aware of that on the market that gives that information, that power to the customer. Trade pending, all of AccuTrade, whatever. I mean, I think I've tried everything. I think that's the strength of this tool is the offer has the information that how and why it was generated. And I think that's real powerful with customers. Hey, you can sell your car maybe for a little bit more, but the average car is going to sell in 37 days. So do you really want to deal with people like me for 37 days?
Right, exactly.
So I think that information on that your offer sheet is what sold me before I even really knew the other side. Just that offer sheet was, I was already in my mind. Okay, I don't care what the tool is. If we have this, we can send to customers. We'll find a way. And then once we found out we could send it from y'all's tool, I think that I was sold. He's definitely drinking his Kool-Aid. He's very passionate about what he's doing, and honestly, underselling what y'all have. I mean, he's like, look, I think maybe you'll do 20, 25 cars if you do a good job. And I was like, okay, well, that'd still be better than we're doing. And, now we're doing 125. I mean, I've literally signed, it's 148 where I'm at. I've signed 5 checks today. So, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the beauty of Danny is that he's a dealer principal for his own dealership, and he's the managing partner at VINCUE. And so a lot of the things that we roll out at VINCUE, we test with Danny in his store. So when you talk about,
he was actually involved in my initial demo, not at the conference, but once we scheduled one with y'all, he even made the time to get on and do the initial demo with myself and my platform manager. So that's pretty strong.
Yeah, he absolutely loves what he's doing, and he has a great time doing it. So I'm super happy that you're impressed with that offer, because what I love about it too is it comes across on the mobile phone, and you're doing everything via text when you're communicating with these folks that are doing the private party acquisition. Do you ever get any
communications are held?
Oh, one more time, I'm sorry.
And the communications are held there, so you as a manager or owner, you can log in and see that there's progress, because you can see that the communications have been sent and if they've been responded to. I think that it'll be more powerful for us once we get it in VIN solutions, because now it's not limited to one person getting a message. The team can see an inbound message and then make sure that the person is not available that sent that message, that we get somebody else involved.
Right, so you can stay involved and move the customer along in the
process. Because time is the essence. I mean, there's very few cars that we're going after that we're the only offer that the customer's got.
Right.
I mean, every day, as many as we win, we have no shows, and when we follow back up, somebody else has bought the car. I mean, it's very rarely a retail customer. It's most of the time a dealer.
So, are there other functions and features that you really like that stand out for you?
Functions and features that I really like. I like the main screen that tells you, separates your inbound lead generate from your website versus your working. Like right now we have in the Chevrolet store 41 deals working as of today. We take our process and build our processes around the tool and our people. So we might even have a little bit of different scripted process in one store than the next because the people are different. So, you know, I think that's a large part of the success. I don't think there's nothing that I can think of that Mike that I voiced the concern or, hey, what if? I mean, y'all's team really embrace suggestions. I can't tell you how many times that Mike's texted me and said, hey, our conversation today, I got a ticket open. I'm going to see about, let's do this or let's do that. And, that's, in today's vendor world, that's pretty nice. It's not something you physically see, but you might see as it gets developed, but you don't see, so I can't say it's a visual today, but knowing that they care and embrace what they're hearing to try to get these things to work for you is nice.
So you use the VBC inbound and outbound today. Are there any thoughts to expanding your footprint with VINCUE, or are you going to just stick with the VBC right now?
I think we will add the books to the appraisal tool and continue to get more comfortable with the data in it. I love, there's a feature that I really love, the window stickers. Being able to pull the window stickers, every tool I've ever had says that they can do it and it'll work. And it may work for a short time, but they get bought out and then you can't do it anymore. We've used that tool a lot. That tool single-handedly has made a lot of these deals happen because, customers sometimes don't even know what they own.
Right.
When you get into these cars like Fords, Nissans, BMWs, Lexuses, Mercedes, a difference in having this package and not having that package really makes a difference in the book value. And the scarcity and the demand for the car can change. And a lot of customers, they didn't buy it because of that. So, you ask them if they had heads up, they're like, oh, I don't know. Or does it have the executive package of BMW? Well, I'm not sure. What's that? And being able to go pull that not only has helped us acquire cars because they changed the book several $1,000s, it's helped us then sell them because we can prove that, here's a copy of the window sticker in our listing selling it. So that's the feature that I do like. But everybody we've talked to in whatever format, in training or questions answered, help, we've already talked to somebody from your team, engineering something on the feeds, and discovered that Via Auto has a limitation of only one export per whatever, and you currently only have one in VINCUE, but your engineer was like, and Danny was there with us on the same call, was like, well, I don't see why we couldn't create more than one. And so you'll never get Via Auto to say, oh, sure, well, we can create more or anything, so we're not there, but it's nice to know that in the back of our minds. If we run into a limitation on exporting from Via Auto, if we move that inventory feed over to VINCUE, they potentially can make something work that we can't currently do. So, but that's, I can't think of anything else, but that's, I'm glad we've done it so far.
That's great. If you have what would you say to other dealers who are considering using VINCUE?
Don't, so I can keep stealing all your customers.
Okay, what would you say to other dealers who do not operate in your state or your market?
Make the time to do the demo. Beyond doing the demo, make sure that you either allow the rep to put you in there as a customer, or you go in and put yourself in there and walk yourself through the experience. I think that again is, whether it's generated from my own website, like a trade pending or AccuTrade or a KBB or whatever, getting a value. I think the offering from VINCUE can be customized to your store, like a lot of those other ones, like trade pending or whatever. But I think that the information you're giving the customer is way more than they've ever seen anywhere else. And so I think you have a leg up if your desire is to be transparent, that the customers can see everything we see. Here's who's selling what, how long it's been for sale, what the price is, how long it takes to, on average, to sell. I mean, I just think that that is a unique offering. And I think what makes you unique in our industry often makes the difference in taking you to the next level.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Have you noticed anything different from your end customers since you've been starting to use the VinCue VBC? I mean, you've talked about this transparency. Are there other, you can talk about that a little bit more, or if there are other things that you're noticing from your customers, since using VinCue?
I can tell you one of the GM, the store, the reason that we chose Dublin instead of Statesboro as the next store to put it in was because both GMs first pushed back on it. They wanted trade pending that they had on their websites because they had good stats and they were comfortable with it. They had it set the way they wanted. And when I took trade pending away from Greensboro, and I wasn't expecting, I was expecting to go after cars through this VBC. I wasn't expecting it the change in our leads with trade-ins to go up. But I think that not only the customers have embraced in the stores, I think the salespeople again like having that data. So they're urging the customer to go in there and put the information and their trades in. So once the GM saw the data for the first month in our meeting, that one of them was like, okay, I changed my mind. The other one was still a little wary. That's why we chose the store that he said, okay, I changed my mind. I think that it's not something that, at least for me, another dealer might go in doing business with you guys just because they do like the trade offering, and that's what they want to replace trade pending. I think that's what a unique thing that you guys offer is. There is other pieces to what we already have access to that really wasn't the key reason we bought. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the trade-in data is there in the appraisal screens for you guys, everything but the books, because I'm not paying for the books. But whether there's enough data there to help, these people that we're teaching how to appraise cars, guide them through the offering that y'all are doing. So I think that the dealers that go into a mindset like myself, I want this piece of it, will find that there's other pieces that they didn't even know they were going to get that like, honestly, what's her name? Cheyenne with y'all's team.
Mm-hmm.
She kept pushing us for the website. We're not going to even turn you live till you get this. I'm like, why are you holding me up to go get live on the part that I want for something I don't even care about? And she's like, that's how we do it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No, that's how we do it. And so, not that I minded it, it's just having to wait on the dealer.com or Giselle nerds to give them the code to do it. I'm like, why am I being held hostage because of these nerds? And so it wasn't anything that I really planned on tracking metrics or gaining. In fact, we got rid of trade pending, but we kept Kelly Blue Book, and that's what we were gonna, use as our primary. And when it went up, and the user experience is just it's faster, easier. I think that's what everybody's looking for these days, is getting the information. The customer wants this information. How fast and easy can they get it? And the more that they can get with less input from themselves, I think that is a beneficial tool.
Right. So when you were talking about Cheyenne and the website, I'm assuming that you are also hosting your website with VinCue. Yes.
Yeah.
And that getting the website up was really important so that you could have that linkage back to the VBC and improve your customer experience. That's what you were referring to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she wouldn't let me have cars go into the VBC so I could, from Craigslist or Our Trade or anything else, till we had that other piece of it up. And I was fussing at her. She didn't bend. Just but it's, like I said, so for me, that additional source, or the customer and the employees and the customers liking those offerings that I don't think, well, I know. Right now I have 13 VINCUE website generated offerings, and I have 4 KBBs this week. So, that are still hot and live. And so, I mean, that's,
It's pretty good.
you know, KBB is the recognized name, right? So, y'all are 3-1.
That's awesome.
It is.
Well, that's great. Well, Jeremy, I don't want to take up much more of your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add or say before I let you go?
No, ma'am. I just, thank you for hearing us out and continuing to work with us on, you know, customizing this thing for us to work better.
Yeah, we really appreciate your business and look forward to working with you for many years to come. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.